Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, she is an inspiring story. She really, truly is living the American dream, but she calls herself a reluctant CEO. Her story just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
So I didn't imagine myself hosting a Jeff Crilley Show after I left television news. I thought I had hung up my microphone for good, and so life doesn't ever turn out exactly the way you planned it. My next guest is Theresa Motter. She is the CEO of Van's Kitchen, and you told me you never imagined yourself being the CEO of an egg roll company.
That's right. I didn't know what my plan was for life, but I didn't know that one day I would be leading my family's egg roll business.
And it's almost, I think, God's hand working in your life. We've got some of your story that we're going to roll right now, and then we'll pick it up after this.
My name is Theresa Motter, and I'm the CEO of Van's Kitchen. At Van's Kitchens, we make premium egg rolls. Unlike a restaurant, we make everything that actually goes into the egg rolls. My mom was, I think, 22 years old when she came to the U.S., and I was 2 years old.
I came to this country 50 years ago with $40, and I speak very little English, and I was scared to death. Van Kitchen started very small. We are using hand rolling with 9 people.
My parents always said we make millions of egg rolls, but people eat them one at a time, and it makes me feel good to be able to offer something to our consumers that maybe they can provide at the end of the day for their families.
I have to say, I'm very proud of my daughter.
I love it that it's a family company. All right, so tell me about, when you call yourself a reluctant CEO, what happened?
Well, I started after college working for my parents, and I thought I was just going to work for 6 months. And it just kept going and going and going. And then eventually when my parents retired, I wasn't really sure where we were going to go with that. And eventually I sat in the CEO seat, and I didn't think I would be selected because I was the daughter, even though I was leading the business at that time.
And the company has grown tremendously. How many stores are you in?
We're in over 5,000 grocery stores and convenience stores all over the country.
That's amazing. In fact, I think, I hope you don't mind sharing this, but one of your big clients is Walmart.
That's right. So we started working with Walmart very early on. When we first started, there were only 50 supercenters.
Wow.
So we are very blessed to continue to work with them as they grow throughout the country.
Tell me what your secret sauce is, so to speak. I mean, what do you think you add to the company that's helped get it to this point?
I think my secret sauce is just my resiliency. I want to really work with people and empower them to overcome any obstacles and live out their dreams. I'm living out my dream even though I didn't know it was my dream at the time.
You were telling me before the show started that when your family came here, it was a different time, wasn't it?
Absolutely. My parents came to the United States in the 60s, and my parents were teaching Vietnamese to the soldiers that were going back to Vietnam for the war. And after the war ended, we thought we were going to Vietnam and to live there, and this was Plan B, to stay here. And it was a challenging time to maybe overcome some of the bias because it was in the middle of the war and we were Vietnamese people that were here, but we weren't the people that were coming over, just that time in between. And it was something for me to learn how to deal with being now that I listen to myself, I have a Texas accent, and I didn't know a Vietnamese person would have a Texas accent.
It's delightful. Do you ever say y'all or fixin'?
Oh, absolutely. And I count by one of y'all, two of y'all, and all of y'all.
I like that. I like that. We're going to show some pictures off of your website because your products are diverse. Can you tell us a little bit about your product line?
Sure. We make egg rolls, and we make every bite the best one, and I guess our secret sauce is making them with love. We really want to make sure, we believe people are made to love, and we want them to love our products, and we're looking for something to provide that makes it easy for the working mom or working dad or working person, even if you're working in your kitchen at home now.
And is that something that you got from your folks? I mean, that spirit of let's put love in every bite?
Absolutely. Well, as a Vietnamese person, we eat family style. And so when we come to the table, it's not your plate. We eat together, and we pick a little bit of, kind of pick off of everybody's plate,
Sure,
right?
sure.
So in order to do that, we really wanted to make sure that we included that part of our culture and our heritage in what we were providing to our consumers and our clients.
And you recently received a great honor from the Dallas Business Journal. We're going to show the headline. You are one of the recipients of the Women in Business Award. What was that like?
That was really exciting. I was so honored to be on that panel with those amazing women. It was really a great honor to really see especially this year, what people have overcome and continue to push forward and grow.
Tell me about company culture, because I know that's important to you. Family, do you see your employees as family?
Absolutely. I call it our work family.
Yeah.
But our culture is really making sure that we give every person in our family the opportunity to maybe live the dream that I have. We have a lot of employees that are, and we call our employees role models, ROLL, from
Love
egg
it.
roll.
Love it.
So we give our role models the opportunity to maybe live some of the dreams that we have. Most of our role models are actually not native United States citizens, so it gives them a chance to really live maybe part of my dream.
I love it. And you and I were talking before the show. My first employee is still with me. Your first employee is still with you.
That's right. Our first role model has been with us. Actually, he started in April and I started in July. And my favorite thing about him is he always says he's my boss because he started before me. I love that. I love the ownership mentality.
That's wonderful. Tell me about your leadership style. And how did you develop your leadership style?
I think I just learned it on the fly. I was always in the shadow and didn't really think that I was actually leading. And I'd like to collaborate with people and give them an opportunity to do that. But I will say that if push comes to shove and nobody's making a decision, I don't mind jumping in and making that decision.
I love it. Well, you also had to steer the company through a challenging time. There was not a playbook for the pandemic. It wasn't like you could just, dust it off of the shelf and say, okay, chapter 5. How did you navigate the pandemic, and were there any challenges?
Well, if you think about it, we're a manufacturing company, so we're working in close proximity. We have a lot of challenges there. And I started thinking about my role models in my work family. So I went and researched trying to find the best way to keep people safe. Safety was most important, not only for our role models, but for our clients and our consumers. Fortunately, food is something that we have to have, and food doesn't carry the virus. And so we just found some different protocols and a very extensive procedure to make sure that we keep everybody safe and still be able to produce food effectively and deliciously.
I know a lot of people have had to pivot. This is a time where a lot of Americans have anxiety, they're stressed out because of uncertainty. Give some words of encouragement to the people who are watching this right now who are fearful, because you really are living the American dream and are very inspiring. But there were probably times during your career where you were frightened and uncertain as well.
Probably times this year. It wasn't that long ago. I think, I know that we will overcome this. And it's just a challenge. It's just a season, and we will get through it. I know a lot of people talk about get through it together. I think failure is not an option. So it's what do we need to do? How do we need to work together to make every step of the way and get there? And I think there are some things about this season that will continue. Maybe masks will be a thing, maybe, you know, but we'll learn and we'll adapt. And I'm excited for the opportunities there. It's been a great opportunity for us to continue to grow and serve our clients. And our role models, as we were going through these challenges, they came to work because they knew their role was to feed people out there that really couldn't go out there and get the food that they needed.
Wow. Well, thank you for the blessing of coming in. You were so inspiring. You're one of my heroes now. We're going to put your website up to end the segment. vanskitchen.com is the website. Theresa Motter, thank you so much for the gift of your wisdom.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Nice meeting you.
You bet. And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.